How's everybody doing today? It's good to see all of you. First of all, I see God is here. My good friend God. 14 months in a row. 14. Is that that's probably the biggest number we've seen, right? 14. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, so let's say hi to everyone who's here. Devness, Blank Turk, PC Load Letter, Beatlocks, NGB, VPR, Visionaire Purple, Uncle B, Jetstream, Sleepsin, 6 Degrees, Train the Gamer, of course God, again 14 months in a row. And yes, I did get a haircut. For the first time in I think 4 years or so, I actually went somewhere to get a haircut. Before this, I'd been cutting my own hair for the past 4 years. It started out sorta kinda to save money at first, not really. The reason why I started doing it was because I was still living in Abilene at the time, and they didn't have any Asian barbers, or at least barbers who are familiar with Asian hair, really, Asian scalp and hair, and they would always do a shit job. So just decided, you know what, fuck it, I'll make my own haircuts with blackjack and hookers. And so I didn't get the blackjack and hookers part, but I did, start cutting my own hair for, and then it became a money saving thing. Then it became more of a convenience thing. It was just nice and easy. I didn't have to go anywhere, If the hair starts growing a bit too long and it would get too hot or annoying, irritating, I would just, alright, fuck this shit. I'll just cut my hair, and then right before I go to bed or something. Of course, I'll take a shower, right after that. But anyway, and yeah, so $10, at this Chinese barber. So sure. On Tuesdays they have this $10 deal, and so I was like, why not? So $10, it's. I figured $10 isn't too bad, if it goes horribly, I can just shave everything off. It's really not terrible, and I've made costlier mistakes, so it shouldn't be so bad. And I want to apologize for being late today. So I was just trying to get ready, and my family back home in Malaysia. Also, hi Big McMuffins and Iridius. Yeah, so my family back home, they tried contacting me, sort of. My dad tried contacting me. So they are at the wake service, or I guess part of the funeral, for my grandmother, who passed away 2 nights ago. I can't quite remember exactly what time, but I just know that because time zones and everything. But anyway, yeah, so it was earlier this week, and yeah, so it's my mom's mom, or well, my mom's adopted mom. My grandmother took my mom in because some complex family thing, and so the grandmother, I think, so the story's kind of, it's real complex, but anyway, so basically my mom's biological mom, and some other things, but she died of cancer and stuff like that. So this lady took her in, and so I didn't even know until maybe I was 11 or 10 or something. But anyway, and the grandmother would have been 95 this year, so pretty pretty incredible. You know, the even hitting 90 is pretty insane. Of course, if you hit 100, then that's something not a lot of people can achieve. And yeah, the last time I saw her was, it's gotta be at least 4 or 5 years. Yeah, so I was just spending some time trying to, you know, think on that a bit, because this week I was kind of busy, and my younger brother was here. He got married earlier this month, so at least, you know, it's not all sad. You know, at least, oh, let me turn off the heater. You know, so at least something great happened at the start of 2019. You know, my younger brother finally got married, and they were on their honeymoon in LA for over a week, and then they came back. And then the day they came back was when we found out that you know, our grandmother had passed. And yeah, so we just didn't really have time and to really process everything. And I think that, you know, my other siblings weren't as, I want to say weren't as close, but really wasn't really, you know, it wasn't like I was, you know, it wasn't like I was writing letters to my grandmother or anything like that. But yeah, so I hadn't spoken to her in many years, because, you know, she's not on the internet and things like that, and she lives 3 hours drive away from where I'm from, and so we usually only get to see her maybe once a year during Chinese New Year. And so, I mean, it's not like we weren't completely prepared for it. You know, her health had been failing, and you know, she was put into hospice care and things like that. But I think it's just like, you know, you kind of expect things. You know, these things like that are gonna happen, but when it happens, it's like, oh, okay. And then after a while, you start to realize what it kind of means, and you know, things like that. So, you know, again, you know, we weren't incredibly close or anything like that, but she was pretty much the only relative outside of my immediate family who would speak to me, and the only one who would treat me kindly. Because growing up, we didn't talk to, you know, I've spoken about how when I was younger, I was surprised that people could actually hang out with their cousins and things like that. So, you know, it was, like, my extended family we just never had that. My elder brother was at least, you know, he kind of grew up with my extended family, so he had all that. But, you know, but for me, and then it was kind of worse for me just because, so my dad's side of the family hated my mom, and I look like my mom, and so I got a lot of shit when I was growing up, you know, as a kid, just because I reminded everyone of my mom. And I would just get, you know, called, I wouldn't say horrible things, but, you know, growing up I would get called, you know, stupid and fat and things like that. And, you know, even though, you know, I was like 4 years old, I didn't know anything was going on. I've always been a quiet kid, you know. I would just be there and just get yelled at for no reason, just because I remind them of my mom. And anyway, so, you know, I never really thought about never really had any relationship with my extended family, except for, yeah, this one grandmother who would at least, you know, talk to me, and then I don't know what she would ask me about, but she would at least. She didn't start off every sentence with an insult, you know. And it was always kind of interesting as well the way we would communicate, because her English is not that great, and her Mandarin is pretty bad as well. And you know, I grew up speaking Mandarin. She pretty much only spoke Cantonese. And you know, when I was growing up, you know, I didn't learn Cantonese when I was growing up. I learned it mostly from my grandma. And yeah, so she would talk to me in Cantonese, and I would try to respond in, you know, a mixture of English and Mandarin. And you know, those were pretty much the conversations we would have. You know, half the time, you know, we're just trying to understand each other. But again, you know, it was, you know, when I look back, I didn't have any other relative that would, you know, give me that sort of time, would try to relate to me. She also picked up my first name, Anthony. Apparently because, well, she was pretty devout Catholic, and so, you know, Saint Anthony and things like that. And yeah, so, you know, so outside of my own immediate family members, she was, like I said, in the and I think my most poignant memory of my grandmother was, you know, I was maybe 10 years old or maybe younger than that. And she was she was staying with us for, you know, sometimes when she comes to visit, sometimes she would stay with us, sometimes she would stay with some other friends or relatives. And so, you know, this was, like I said, you know, this was when I was a kid. And yeah, so I remember, you know how old people wake up early? And it's especially a stereotype, you know, with old Asian people. You know, they'll wake up early and they'll do Tai Chi and go drink some tea and play some mahjong or something. And yeah, so, you know, she would wake up early, and she saw me, I was awake. I was doing homework. And, you know, she didn't know that, you know, so she saw that, and afterwards she actually, you know, told my mom. She was like, "Oh man, you know, you should be very proud of your son. You know, I woke up today at 6:30 a.m. and your son was already studying and, you know, preparing for school, blah blah blah." And, you know, and I'm thinking, she has no idea. The only reason I was up that early was because it was homework that I was supposed to do yesterday. But I spent the whole day playing Lego and watching, you know, Winnie the Pooh or some shit. And, you know, I was just rushing to finish my homework right before leaving for school. And, you know, making sure my parents didn't know that I had homework. But yeah, so that was pretty consistent with her behavior. You know, she would see the best in everyone. And yeah, like she made sure, you know, like my parents heard about it, even though, you know, it wasn't exactly the truth, right? I was only doing that because I'd been lazy the day before. I don't know if I wish I had, you know, been able to see her, you know, recently, because yeah, she lost a lot of weight. You know, she definitely didn't look very okay. Yeah, I mean, such is life. Yeah, growing up, you know, I always thought that families are supposed to hate each other. Okay, I get that. Like, you know, my immediate family was you know, we're always looking out for each other. But growing up, I just thought, oh, you know, bigger families, you know, with relatives, you know, we're just not friends. There's always some fighting that's supposed to be going on. There's supposed to be people yelling at each other and things like that. Yeah, she was really the only one that was wasn't like that. You know, I sometimes feel bad that when I was younger, you know, even though she was, you know, incredibly kind to us, I never really, as a kid, you know, I never really enjoyed visiting. her, you know, in my mom's hometown. Was, you know, they were incredibly poor, and you know, they said a squat toilet. They didn't have hot water, no AC. You know, the car is like 30 years old, 40 years old, or some crazy shit like that. And yeah, so as a kid, you know, I didn't get that. I just knew that, you know, I just didn't like being there because, you know, it was always hot. It was, you know, everything just looked kind of old. And, you know, if you go there, you better not want to shit because you're going to be using a squat toilet. They never have a microwave oven. But yeah, as a kid, you know, you just don't you don't get it. You just know that there are places you like going to, places you don't like going to. Yeah, but she was an amazing cook though, and we would eat a lot of really good kind of Southern Chinese, Cantonese, you know, the rice and dishes. Yeah, that was one thing I really enjoyed. I always enjoyed going there to eat. I remember one time I was kind of an asshole though. So she saw that I was hungry, so you know, we were you know, she was staying over at my family's house, and she just wanted to cook me something. And so, you know, we had instant noodles, and she cooked Indomie. And so for those of you who are familiar, Indomie is this dry instant noodle. It's not, most of it's supposed to be dry. You know, there are some soup versions, but for the most part it's supposed to be dry, you know, with this kind of thick soy sauce thing. And so she didn't know. And she made it into, you know, she just cooked it into a soup form. And I remember as a kid, you know, I was so angry. You know, I was already hungry, and you know, I was like, "What? You know, what have you done? You've ruined it. You've ruined Indomie. You know, it's supposed to be dry." No, you know, I was really young, so didn't really think too much about it. But she ate it, and you know, looking back, I remember that, and sometimes I still feel really bad about it. Chewy, thank you so much, 10 months in a row. Going to places where your parents talk. Oh yeah. Yep, yeah, as a kid, and like I said, you know, family reunions are never enjoyable. And yes, grandmas are generally the best. This one was definitely a great grandma. My other grandma is not so great though. She absolutely hates me. No, you know, like I said, nothing to do with me, but yeah. But this grandma was very, very kind, and you know, I feel like that at least that's the least she deserves, right? For us to, at least, you know, this generation to remember her. Yeah, always very sacrificial. Always thinking about others. God says, people who have the heart your grandmother had have a huge impact on our lives, even if we don't spend all the time in the world with them. It's good to take the time to respect that. Yeah, that's exactly what I, so right before the stream, that's, now just sitting there on my bed, just kind of just, yeah, that's the least they deserve, right? Some sort of mental acknowledgement of how they've impacted us. Like I said, she was the only one who showed me that families don't have to hate each other, that it's not always terrible. And the crazy part is, again, we're not even, actually biologically related. She was my mom's adopted mom. Maybe that's the secret, though. Also, Big McMuffins says, I've been at almost all your streams lurking. Haven't messaged in a while. Yeah, well, it's good to see you here in chat. Daredevil is here as well. How's it going? I love the praise for procrastination. Such a good memory to share. Yeah, that's one thing I think I will do my best to always remember. I still remember. I thought I was screwed. I thought I was. Oh no, she caught me. That I haven't finished my homework. That I'm just rushing to get it done before the school van came to pick me up. Yeah, who knew? She's like, oh, your son is so hardworking. And Chuckan, how's it going? Good to see you here. Helpful as well. And Bug Whisper. Mr. Petrov. Or Petro5. He says, I had one amazing grandma who died in 1989. One relatively terrible one who lived until 99 and died last year. Man, she was denied that triple digit. But yeah, it's pretty bad. When we were talking about it, so I didn't find out as early as soon as my other brothers did. Hold on, it's my microphone. Am I peaking? Hold on. No, I should be fine. But yeah, so when we picked up my younger brother and his new wife from the airport, and we kind of talked about it. We were supposed to call home as well, but we didn't really talk about it much with my family back home. I think we were all just too tired. It was 2 a.m. And yeah, so my younger brother was, man, why is it that the only one terrible grandparent is the one that's alive? Nah, that's kind of how it works out, right? Trash Ramen says, I've been eating mama noodles as of late. Did you get the tom yum, or which one did you get? I know over here you usually get the creamy tom yum. There's a non-creamy version as well. I don't know which one I like better though. I have not decided. Some people don't like the noodles that Mama uses because Mama's instant noodles are quite different from the other brands. I think it's not bad. Some people hate it though. Okay, so this plate is still very, very tight, and I just realized I had not spoken at all about this keyboard. So this is not the first time we're working on this keyboard. We actually tried to do this, I think 2 weeks ago maybe. And the switches were terrible, and so this time we were trying again with some Gateron yellows. No, I didn't decide if it's the plate or the PCB or both. That's making it really hard for these switches to go in. Yeah, I hope everyone out there has, you know, at least when they're, you know, when they're growing up, had at least one, you know, family member, you know, cousin or aunt, uncle or whatever, that was, you know, at least one that they had some sort of connection with. Trying to figure out if it's just so the plate is a little warped, and this it's almost gonna be impossible for us to straighten it because it's titanium, so very, very hard and pretty stiff material. Because although hardness isn't completely isn't directly proportional or inversely proportional in flexibility, it is basically, you know, not everything that's hard will be stiff, if that makes sense, because, you know, hardness, but it often is. And yeah, I'm pretty sure in the case of titanium it is stupid stiff, and we cannot file the plate because we're gonna need a metal that's harder than titanium, and I don't have access to anything like that. We're gonna need something that has the, oh my god, yeah. So this is gonna take a while, just putting the switches into the plate. Good die young wall. I mean, she wasn't very young, right? She's 95, so I guess, you know, it's to be expected. But again, you know, when it happens, you see it coming, but at the same time you don't, and you think, oh, I'm completely ready for it, and then when it happens, oh, maybe I wasn't. KB Warriors, how's it going? Visionary says, my 95-year-old grandfather still lives on his own. Wrecked his car last weekend. Small fracture to his leg. He's getting back on his feet this week. Man, that guy is a trooper. Wait, your grandfather is 95? Oh, right. This grandmother is really old, just because, like I said, you know, she was the adopted mom. Because my other grandmother is, I think, still in her 60s. Let me think about this. No, she's gotta be, no, 70, sorry. Hold on. Yes. She's like young 70. Early 70, sorry. Yeah, most of my relatives had kids pretty young, or got married really young. Turns 96 next week. Very nice. Are there gonna be celebrations, or are you not gonna do anything until he hits 100? So yeah, so titanium plate, Gateron yellows, these are lubed with basically God's method, so Krytox 103 for the most part, and then we use LSD oil for the springs and 3204 for the actuation nubs. Did a big blowout for 95, but he insisted we don't do much for him year after year. Okay, I guess he's also just holding out for 100. Probably a good time to test the stabilizers. So the good thing is at least we don't have to do switch alignment for this because it's all PCB mount. That'll save us some time, except this plate is not easy to work with. Okay, time to test the stabilizers. And yes, for Russ isn't here right now. I think maybe he's probably asleep. You know, it's getting late in North Carolina, and he's a good boy. But yes, big shout out to him for sure. So Russ, the same Russ who, you know, if you saw the intro screen, you know, he was the number 2 all-time cheer. So when he found out that VPR needed switches, he just had VPR pay for shipping and just gave him, I think it's like at least 80 switches. It's got to be actually at least 90. It's got to be around 100 switches, I think. Just ship them to me, you know, so that I can mod them for VPR. Yeah, just he didn't like that. Russ didn't like that. You know, VPR got screwed over by the previous guy who did the switch lubing and stuff, and so yep, just sent a bunch of switches here. Yeah, it's got to be at least 100 because we've got 75 over here. Yep, it should be about 100. Is this board forced? Yes. So this one has a pretty much fixed layout, and the plate's kind of weird because you see how over here it offers you. I guess they maybe think you might use a 6U spacebar. Actually, yeah, you could use a 6U spacebar. Actually, that would be an interesting layout. If you use a 6U spacebar, 1.25, 1.25, so you know it's like a standard bottom row. And then you use a 6U spacebar over here. I don't think it supports 7. Yeah, it doesn't support 7. So you could, oh, it actually supports 3U spacebars. So you could do a 3U, 3U, and a 1.25, which will match over here. Well, and then you get this awkward 1 over here, and then you got the arrows. PC load letter. Yep, thank you, thank you. And yeah, to everyone else as well, thank you for your thoughts and kind words. Daring Dick, hello, how's it going? Yeah, my elder brother made a big Facebook post, but I don't really care for social media and things like that, and Facebook, so I don't like making announcements and things like that, and yeah, but I figured I should at least tell some people about my grandma. I should at least tell my friends, right? Not just random ass people on Facebook, to get likes and shit. Alright, so let's test the stabilizers. So everything seems pretty good. Yes, for split space you use two 2U stabilizers. The 3U keys. Oh, actually no. Hold on, let me think. No, it actually uses 3U stabilizer wires. Because if you just use a 2U, you're gonna run into the same problem as how the right shift. Typically, if you use a standard right shift, it's kind of bad if you hit it on the sides because the key is a bit too long for the 2U stabilizer. So these actually, you can see the holes of the PCB. They're spaced a bit further apart than on a 2U, so you need 3U stabilizer wires. I don't know where to get those though. I have some 6U, but I don't have any 3s. But yeah, if you want GMK to do 3U, all you need to pressure Gawk to run a GMK set, and then he'll make it happen. Because his daily driver layout uses two 3U space bars. So that's why all his NJPD sets have the 3U space bars. Crippled, how's it going? It says I can only find 3mm 475 color lights. Wait, 3 as in not 5, right? So 2 by 3 by 4. You just have to sand it, and file it down, and maybe you be able to make it work. Might have to split 3U space on the Chibi. Do you have a Chibi as well? I need to figure out what to do with mine. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it or I'm gonna just sell it. Cause yeah, like I don't really like the flaws that mine has. If we have to desolder this is gonna be a pain because of how tight everything is. Wait, Chokan, what about the 3U? What were you gonna say? EPS says it's black. Bottom is scratched to hell because the base wasn't bagged. Stabs came loose in the box and rattling on. Oh. Oh. The base is the acrylic, right? Or polycarbonate. But I know Gawk is running an interest check for a metal base. Maybe that could be interesting. Did you get just the anodized black, not PVD, right? Or did you get PVD black? Like I know there were at least two different blacks. I think he ended up swapping his. Which one was it? He had one that had some problems, and so he actually went to see Senin during his Taiwan trip. Okay, standard black. Is the anodizing decent? Do you know? Do you see any major problems with it? Does yours have dents and scratches and stuff, or does it look fine? So mine has, you know, some nicks on the edges. My thumbs are hurting pretty bad from doing this. This is also 1U, right? Yes, believe so. You know what we need? We need a tool for pushing switches down into the plate if it's really tight. Just some kind of clamp thing that won't damage the switch or the plate or the PCB would be super nice. Yeah, I don't think just pushing down your thumbs is you know, it's optimal. Vice grips. Something like that would be nice. But you might break the switch. Also, TKC caps. No, I did not see it. Do you have a link to it, Jetstream? NGB, welcome back. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how these sound. Should be interesting though. Mr. Petra says I use a book. Yeah, but as in, this is super tight though. We're not talking like, you know, just a regular plate. This is ridiculous how much they're pushing. You can see just how red my just look at that. Look at how red my my fingers are from just pushing down the switch. Look at that. Hey, just Tiny and Poner, how's it going? Oh, Tiny shows up just as NGB says Tiny 4K. You just smash it with a hammer. Okay, I'm looking at the Instagram post. Oh my god, more Japanese again. That's cool though, man. That is a... So is this supposed to be double shot? What is it? Hardcover book is harder than I thought. Yeah, but the thing is, a hardcover book, the problem is that I need something that can push the edges of the switch. Not from the top, but as in the edges over here. So even a hard book is not going to do too much for me. Because, you know, you can push the switch, but it's the corners and stuff that you need pushed in. So that's why I still use my fingers. So you'll probably need something that takes the shape of the switch tops into account. You're building the TKC right now? Nice. The TKC 1800. So racist. Chokan, how good is your Japanese? Is it good enough for you to watch JAV for the plot? And maybe that's what they need to use to incentivize learning English. You know how much you miss out on if you watch porn and not understand a word of English? So many good, you know, lines, great dialogue, plot twists. Yeah, exactly. See? So if you struggle to understand English, it's just you just miss out on so much. You don't get the full experience. You know, then porn is just a you know, it'll just satisfy your carnal desires, but it won't satiate your intellectual and spiritual thirst. This is why kids need to learn English. It's die sub? Oh, so but that picture just is... Or is that reverse die sub? Wait, what? Oh, it's all over die. Okay, so it is all over die sub. Well, I hope it'll be good. I don't know what Gawk thinks about this. Because Gawk has been working with KBD fans on all over die sub stuff. Yeah, so this could be very, very interesting. Because if this ends up working just fine, think of all the possibilities. Oh, I should fill the IC form. But then again, I don't even know if I'll keep the chibi, that's the thing. My god. This is actually very, very painful. A very spiritual person. You just need to know where to go, man. There's a lot of good stuff out there. You really. That's why I don't watch Netflix or anything like that. There's better plot lines in porn. Really thought provoking. Really makes you want to wish you had friends so you could discuss the character development, the story arc. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Okay, look at this hand compared to the other hand. I don't know how well you can see it, but can you see how much redder like just compare this, because this I have to use this finger as well. Just compare this with like this side. You see how red these fingers are? See, yeah, this whole section is just red. And it says Xeno's the last board I plan on buying too. See, I should still buy it, but we'll see. When does the thing end? I guess the colors I'm buying are pretty basic though, so I shouldn't be too worried about it. And yes, it's good to see that they are stocking white and black, or at least right now they're still selling it, right? I don't think it's out of stock yet on Mass Drop, the GMK white and black. Darren Dick says, I think Metropolis might be the last set I buy this year. Really gonna cut back on spending. Nice. You should save up and put more of it into the trip. So when are you leaving for the trip? Is it the last weekend of January? Row 3 backspace in 12 colors. Row 3? Oh no. Are you an ortho freak? Let's see if it's the feet that's making it difficult. Or the pins, I guess. Nope, it's just the plate. Maybe what I should have done was sand down all the switches. Do you have any gloves to use? Yeah, I don't know if gloves will help that much. I mean, it's basically just the amount of force I have to use on these things. Let's try this. So it's a combination of the plate and the PC mount pins, I think. I do want to take this one switch out. Holy shit, this is insane. Oh, I guess that one ain't coming out for now. Okay, it's finally doing something. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so that's annoying. So it's both the PCB and the plate that are too tight. So for the remaining switches, I'm just gonna clip the PCB feet. Dominic says, I fly out to Phoenix on the 26th. Also, I'll be saving money for my trip for next January. Ooh, nice. Are you gonna try to make it? You should make it an international trip. You should go to Europe or Asia or something. Try something new. Okay, so. Just gonna clip the rest of the switches. Oh, you're good. You think you're going to Japan? Do I get to see you wrestle? With Skadada is coming out again. Why? Are they gonna change anything, or is it just gonna be the same old thing? Weeks in January 2020. That sounds like a pretty exciting trip though, Devin Dick. Japan is one of the admittedly few places in Asia I like to visit. I honestly don't. I don't really care for visiting most of Asia, I'll be honest. I mean, you know, I grew up there, so it doesn't really matter to me that much. But Japan for sure. That's definitely a place that everyone should try to visit. Except for maybe the Japanese, they probably don't care. Hey brother, how's it going? Hexagon Dark sold out at North Korea. Let's see, we were talking about Japan and now we're talking about North Korea. Yeah, sometimes I wonder if I should have kept both my Hexagon Dark desk mats. I sold one to God. Maybe I should have kept one. Kept both. Or, yeah, because I got two. Osaka and Kyoto. What is there at those places that you want to visit? VPR says, need a tool that has like 4 padded teeth on the corners. Could apply even pressure. Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. You need something that will help all 4 corners. It can't be something that just, you know, pushes down. It has to be something that would work for just switches. Also, Dominic, you never told us about how the rest of that party went for your friend. you said that, you know, no one else was dressed up as to match the wrestling theme. And I really hope all these switches work, because I did not want to desolder the ones with the PC mount pins on them. That's gonna be bad. Only his wife, daughter, and myself actually dressed up. Wait, so not even him? Isn't that kind of awkward though? Just you, the wife, and the daughter? Are you the real dad? Oh no. It's like some shitty plot twist and, you know, a budget. Mexican soap opera. And yes, remember, this is that exact same board. So there is a redemption story to this keyboard. So that's good. See, definitely that's the thing, right? People need to learn to just laugh things off. You know, some people will say some stuff and then they'll make things awkward because they're awkward. Right? If you just say something something wrong, or just fucking just got you there, you know, that helped a lot more than just kind of awkwardly looking around. Or, you know, don't laugh at all. Stay in character. Now these get yellows are lubed very well. I hope so. I mean, to me, they are. Because I actually test each of these switches. Yeah, look, they're actually going in now. Yeah, it was a combination of the plate and the PCB. Plate itself was already tight, and then PCB just made it worse. Yeah, I'm just gonna put all these switches in because the plate's really tight, and it's not like we're gonna be able to straighten the plate out anyway if we solder with star pattern, because it is a titanium plate, very stiff. Not a whole lot we can do to straighten it out. Yeah, the cake looked really cool though, the wrestling belt thing. Come on, think of it, I don't think I've ever seen a custom cake before. As in, you know, any of the parties I've been to. Never. I don't think I have, honestly. Like a commissioned cake. Shame we went north facing. I know, right? We all know it's about that southern heritage. Man, speaking of cake, I will say, I don't get people's obsession with just cake. You know, people always like to joke about, I just want to have cake. Most cakes are pretty bad. Right? There are some really good ones, but a lot of them are just kind of just why? You know, I like to think of them as waste of calories. And it's like, it's bad for you, but it also tastes bad. So why am I eating this? Now zesty salsa, how's it going? Makes a red velvet, chocolate and strawberry. Very nice. I used to wonder why people like red velvet, and then I found out, oh, it's because it's actually just a combination of things, and it often involves chocolate. So that's why people like that stuff so much. Not zesty salsa, are you building a keyboard? What are you doing? Are you gonna do it this weekend? VPR says, the older I get, the more of a pie person I've become. What kind of pie though? Dessert or meat pie? I fucking love meat pies. Dessert pies, close to getting the CA66, my first custom. Very cool, very nice. Are you getting the V2 or are you getting the V1? V2 I believe has some improvements. There's one where they improve the RGB, and then there's another one where it will allow you to fit a Bluetooth module in there. Dude, shepherd's pie, man. Shepherd's pie is the good stuff. Okay, but yeah, so about cake consuming sweet. I don't know if I like any dessert pies, come to think of it. I really don't. No, I can't think of a dessert pie that I really like. With the exception of, a nice cream pie. You just need something to wash everything down after a nice big meal. Key lime pie. I've never had key lime pie actually. Custard pie. Okay, actually, I guess maybe some Chinese, like Asian versions are not bad. But then again, it's not exactly pie, right? Dutch apple pie. And pumpkin pie. See, I'm not a fan of pumpkin stuff in general. Like pumpkin and marshmallow. Is it pumpkin? No, sweet potato and marshmallow casserole, and then pumpkin pie. Like, it's basically what you eat at Thanksgiving for dessert. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Extra brass plate, Bluetooth PCB. Okay, so you are getting that Bluetooth PCB. Nice. Yeah, I think that for a board that lightweight, you definitely it makes sense to go Bluetooth and stuff like that. Is that lemon meringue pie? What is that?
Meringue. Meringue.
Here's meringue. Good key lime pie is amazing. Okay. VPI, yes. I do like mooncakes in general. I mean, I don't love them, but they're alright. I think It's kind of weird, but I actually like the pastry part of moon cakes. So I actually like when there's more of that pastry and less of the filling. I know, you know, a lot of moon cakes, they have really, really thin that pastry thing, and then it's really thick filling. I actually like a nice balance. Hey, but no, school has not started. School's starting Monday. Tuesday. Well, Tuesday for me. So hey, maybe we'll have more stories. More fun. Tally, how's it going? And yes, we were talking about pies, all sorts of pies. Goel, how's it going? PC Little Letter says, if you like the pastry pie, I think you like sun cakes from Taiwan. Sun cakes. Sun cake Taiwan. Wait. Oh, is it is it the really flaky stuff? Because is this low pop bang? I think in some places it's called, okay, so it says, so I think in Taiwan they call it something different. What is it called? It's literally just Taiyang Bing, really? This is so long. What is Taiyang Bing? Let me see if... Is it different from... Because the thing is, Taiwan actually shares a lot of similarities with Penang. So what I'm trying to figure out is if it's going to be the same as... Wait. Oh my god, I just realized. Okay, so Google Translate, I'm trying to basically get, because I'm kind of lazy and I didn't want to type in Chinese, but this is why Google Translate is so bad. So, Bug Whisper, thank you so much. The sub, ooh, gift sub from Tully. 25 gift subs, catching up to #1. Thank you so much. Okay, so if you look over here, see when I type wife, it gives me 妻子 and all these other ones, but not a single one that says 老婆. So it gives me 8, is it 8 options? 8 options. Not one of them is 老婆. And you know, growing up, you know, the Chinese that we learn, 老婆 is pretty much the main term that you use to describe someone's wife. So yeah, I'm quite surprised it's not here. So if I type, oh whoops. Oh, what are you doing? Oh. I love you. Oh, there we go. See? It's so dumb. Right? I type 老婆, It's gonna translate to wife. See, okay, it's these two characters, right? But over here, they give me 8 translations for wife. Not a single one of them is this one. Makes no fucking sense. Anyway, I was trying to look for. Trying to see if they're the. I guess they're different. I'm just trying to figure out because they look similar. Okay, maybe that's what it is. Anyway. I don't know if I've had sun cake though. Because I think I've had something that looks like that. Then again, there are a lot of pastries that look like that, but I don't know if I've had exactly what you're talking about. Really flaky. Yeah, I mean, I really like flaky stuff. My previous roommate hates anything in flakes, so he hates croissants. Who the fuck hates croissants? And, you know, pies and stuff like that, where, you know, like when we're talking like meat pies, chicken pot pie and stuff like that with the flakes and stuff. He hates anything flaky. I'm like, why? How do you hate that? It's so good. Girl says, after trying blacks for 2 weeks, I don't want to go back to tactile. Ordered Gat Yellow to... Oh. Well, Gat Yellow. Look at that over here. Okay, we can start soldering because I think... Oh, hold on. One more switch. Hopefully all the switches work just fine. I really don't want to desolder anything. UPS says, I learned Lao Po as well. Oh, Dothead, thank you so much. 13 months in a row. Thank you, thank you. Dot, has a semester started yet for you? Also, when do you get done with your... Because aren't you working on your PhD? When do you get done? Are you still working on your thesis? VPR says, I learned Lao Po as well. See, that's so dumb, right? Like I said, learn Lao Po. When we use Google Translate, it's literally the, you know, they give us so many translations. Lao Po wasn't even one of them. That's why it's so useless to try and use Google Translate to talk to anyone in Chinese. Because you just get a lot of useless translations. Words that people don't use anymore. Chokan says, one of the words for wife literally translates as inside house. Oh yes, Naren. Yeah. It's terrible, isn't it? But yes, I am trying to talk about Lao Po Ping, yes. Because what PC Load Letter was telling us was Taiyang Ping. Sun cake. And then Ripping is moon cake. And yeah, so I was thinking of Lao Po Ping. Taiwanese one is whiter in color, probably way flakier. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's probably it. And then there's, I don't remember, there's so many pastries I used to eat. I have no idea what they're called. I really have no idea. It's a few things. One of it, because, you know, some things we would call it, we would use the Mandarin term, some things we use the Hokkien term, some things we use the Cantonese term, we use the Malay term, we use all these different terms, so it's really hard to pick up which one is which. It's just hard to remember which one is which. And my mom's just really bad at descriptions and you know, using words and phrases. Really, really bad. So if she wants you to look for anything, oh yeah, can you dig for this thing in my purse? And you're like, what thing? Oh, that thing. Well, what thing? And you know, she just kind of assumes you know what she's trying to talk about. Yeah, really, really bad at descriptions. And yeah, and then we would go to so many hawker center. So you know, hawker center where it's kind of like a food court basically, and we never know the names of the. Obviously, they'll have an official name for the food court, right? My mom would never use those names. She uses, okay, there's one place, and yeah, I can't remember what it's called because growing up, she would call it Coca-Cola. You know why? Because that place had some sort of sponsorship thing or ad thing with Coca-Cola, so it had Coca-Cola signs all over the place. The roofs were all covered in Coca-Cola ads, and so she would call that place Coca-Cola. And so yeah, so my siblings and I, you know, to this day, we have no fucking clue what that place was called, and we used to eat there multiple times a week. But yeah, so there's just a lot of things I eat that, yeah, I have no idea what they're called. Absolutely no idea. So PC Low Letter, do you have any Taiwanese heritage, or do you been to Taiwan? How can I safely look at a picture of the sun? I don't want to go blind, but I want to know. Oh, you can just stare at the sun, dude. Haven't you seen our president does it? Fun Explorer, how's it going? Both parents are from Taiwan. Okay, very nice. So do you speak Hokkien then? Do they call it? I think they call it Hokkien, right? In Taiwan, or do they just call it Taiwanese? I'm pretty sure they call it Taiwan. Hokkien, right? So man, have you been to Taiwan? I've never been. My family's actually going there. So my dad, my mom, my youngest, my younger sister, and one of my younger brothers. They're actually going to Taiwan next week. And Goyle, I'm using a G900. I've used a G900 for over a year now. I have two. I have one here, and then I have another G900 back there. All my dad's family's in Taiwan still. Half of my mom's. Okay. My Gok's girlfriend is Taiwanese, and so he was in Taiwan for a month. Yeah, my family's going. I'm pretty jealous though. I've always wanted to go to Taiwan. Like, you know, I mentioned just now that there are only a few places in Asia I want to go. Taiwan is either number 1 or 2nd on the list. Like, you know, there's Japan and then Taiwan. Both of them are there. I don't know so much about China though. Or what am I saying? Taiwan is China, right? Oh God. How about Hong Kong? I've been to, so my family has also been to Hong Kong. I've only been to the airport. I didn't like it. I mean, okay, I take that back. It's not bad. It was way better. The Hong Kong airport is way better than the Taiwan airport. The Taiwan airport is fucking garbage. Still the worst airport I've been to. But I never got to go outside. I really want to go outside because I know I will enjoy it. Taiwan, the street food culture is just based. It's like Penang. We have so much in common. We speak the same language for the most part, or dialect. And yeah, we absolutely love street food and variety. Just cheap food, snacks, always snacking. There's always food everywhere. You walk outside, there's just gonna be food. Pizza Lotus says Taiwan is airport is bad. Yes, like I mentioned it before. When I went there, they didn't have screens for the gates, so you go there, it's just a whiteboard with marker. And it's all outdated because no one's actually updating all the whiteboards. And yeah, so you just kind of have to ask. You just kind of have to keep asking. Yeah. Yeah, that's how bad it was. And yeah, see, here's the dumb thing. You go there, and the ones where they talk about the flights and like, okay, this is departing from here to there. It's all written in Chinese on whiteboards. So it blows my mind. It's like, well, how are people gonna get around? At least I can read Chinese, so I could sort of kind of get around there. But for the other people, it's like, oh my god, how do you even get on your connecting flight? You have no fucking clue. Tally, yes, I finally got a haircut. I finally figured 2019, try something new. VPS says, if we go back to Asia, Taiwan's on my short list. Yes, that is definitely the next place I want to go. I'd rather go to Taiwan than Japan first, honestly. Because I think that street food, as much as I hate to admit it, it's kind of a dying thing. Like night market, street food in general. I know in Penang, it is sort of... It's still the main... we're still with Taiwan as in our primary tourism is just food tourism. Formal tourism. But... the problem is, all these hawkers or vendors, street food vendors, or we wouldn't call them, the reason why they do that is so they can pay for their kids' education, tertiary education. And so their kids are not, picking up the baton or passing on the torch. So it's basically just, whatever... Their form of art, which is food, right, street food or whatever, just dies with that one generation. That's where it ends. And yeah, so for any place that does food tourism, street food, if you are trying to decide on what places in Asia you should go to those places first, because unfortunately it is it's gonna go away eventually. It's already happening in Penang quite a bit. That's why they're trying really hard to stop and slow that down. But yeah, I'm sure it'll affect Taiwan as well. I'm sure it's already affected Taiwan with that. But educate yourself, dude. That is a sick reference, my friend. Holy shit, that was so long ago. Okay, PC Loader says, unfortunately, the street food culture is kind of gone. Okay, see, I was just talking about that. Mostly just have tourist night markets. Yeah, so, like, so if you can go as soon as you... Just go to Taiwan, go to Penang. Anywhere with street food that's famous for street food, go before it's all just completely gone. Because there's just a lot of really good food that just... And this is the problem with Asian cuisine, especially Chinese cuisine. No one writes things down. Absolutely no one writes anything down. So recipes will just die, just disappear completely. Right? I remember on my 2 trips when I went back to Malaysia or Penang, there were these places that served my favorite dishes, where one guy just died of a heart attack at the young age of 46, and another one, the old guy that used to cook it, was too ill and too old, so he just retired. And so those dishes, the ones that I really liked, that nowhere else, no one anywhere else used to make, just gone, just completely gone. The recipes just no one knows how to make it anymore. 6 Degrees says, it's okay, food is always evolving. Just because it's always evolving doesn't mean I'm gonna get back what I wanted though. I haven't found better dishes than those. I still haven't. And it's not even nostalgia. Literally, those two were just so fucking good. Those 2 potato dishes. And yeah. Nowhere, I don't know where to go find them anymore. No idea. Taipei is just too modernized now. Should have written down the recipe. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing, right? Because, I mean, even, you know, in families, no one has like, oh, it's a cookbook from grandma. No one does that. Great. I have to desolder a switch. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Absolutely fun. VPS, a friend of mine spent some time in Thailand, not Taiwan. Thailand before arriving in Vietnam. Said street food is still popular in Thailand. The thing is, in Penang it's still popular, but it's nowhere like what it used to be during my parents' time. And there's just a lot of things that were good are just gone. Just gone. Because the thing is, it's not just the specific dish, it's the specific cook. When you get street food, you're not just going after the food. People don't get that. You're not just getting the food. It's that one specific cook or stall or whatever that prepares that thing that special way that you just cannot find anymore. Think grandma's recipe, like grandma's most famous secret recipe, in literally everything, because, you know, there's so few things are franchised. And it's the same, it's the one person cooking the same dish or the same few dishes, handful of dishes, for decades and decades and decades. And yeah, and unfortunately once it's gone, it's just gone. Yeah, their kids are being doctors and lawyers, engineers. Gail says that's also true for Indian food. A lot of great food is lost due to no written method. Yep. And once it's lost, it's just lost. And the thing is, you don't know how to recreate it, because all these flavors, you have no idea how they go together. It's so difficult. Just Asian things, pretty much. Yeah, so I was just saying that, you know, even in, you know, the few years I was away from home, there's so many food places and hawkers, vendors that I liked that are just gone. I went home and there's no more. And yeah, I can't imagine if I go back in, you know, a few years and where it's been 10 years, you know, will I even be able to find half of the things I enjoyed? Hong Kong's days are numbered under sea. VPR, you think so? And Train the Gamer, Hong Kong is, I would say, quite different from Taiwan, because Hong Kong isn't as famous for its food, not like Taiwan, and the cost of living in Hong Kong is stupid high. It's ridiculously high. Insanely high. Taiwan is like I said, you know, it's very similar to Penang and kind of similar to Singapore as well. It's like a Taiwan is a Singapore with soul, is what it is. So I get kind of like Penang. You know, it's a Singapore, maybe a bit less advanced, You know, a bit dirtier, but with way more character and soul and beauty. PC Load Letter says, I have 33 first cousins. Only 5 are in the States. 33 first cousins. Holy shit. How many do I have? First cousins, let me think. Maybe 7. Also, Alex, how's it going? And yes, these Get Yellows are linear so far. I tested all of them. Beatlock says, I really need to expand my food choices, but damn my family for raising me solely on basic ass American food. That is unfortunate. Cause then for me growing up, you know, we my parents would you know, we were even a bit more diverse than a lot of other more traditional Chinese families in Malaysia. $2K USD for 300 square foot apartment. Wait, where? In Hong Kong, crippled? Where is this? Tyler says, I got 0 work done this week. Spent it in Thailand. Made those streams. Hey, it's the new year, man. You gotta... Gotta take it slow, right? Take your time to settle in to the new year. Beatlock says I pay 1K for 620 square feet. That is enough for me. Oh, where do you live, Beatlocks? That's actually kind of similar to... I guess it depends on how nice the apartment is, but that is kind of similar to a lot of apartments here in the Dallas, Fort Worth suburbs. Chicago suburbs, yeah. And is it cheaper to live inside Chicago itself or in the suburbs? Because over here, it's actually cheap. If you're just buying apartments and stuff, it's actually quite a bit cheaper to live in downtown Dallas than it is to be in the suburbs, or at least the nice-ish suburbs. Is that when I was looking for apartments, the best options were all actually downtown. I ain't living downtown. Dallas downtown isn't that great. Apartment downtown would be 2K. Yeah, see, so yeah, quite different from how it is over here. Then again, Dallas, you know, no one really lives downtown, so that's why kind of why it sucks in the first place. And then because it sucks, no one really wants to live there. Tyler says might never get to visit Thailand. Well, there are some cheap flights here and there. Maybe you could start looking. Benedict says outside for sure. City tax plus county tax sucks ass. Oh yeah. Yeah, like over here, I think if I had moved to an apartment in downtown, you know, similar kind of standard or quality, I think it would have been at least 100 cheaper every month, something like that, for the same size. Yeah, but the problem with living downtown is that a lot of the good things and good places to go to are outside, you know, all across the suburbs. So that's why nobody really wants to live there. And if you want good Asian food, you do not want to be in downtown. You want to be up north or something. Or if you want Indian food, then you want to be on the west side, Irving. I think there used to be a definition right for downtown and uptown, but now it literally just means when you say downtown, you just mean like the city center. That's it. It used to actually be, you know, geographically down and upwards. One minute says someone got their hair did. Yes. So yeah, I finally got a haircut on Tuesday instead of just doing it myself. Because the problem with doing it yourself is you can never get the back part right. You can never clean it up properly. I guess I might actually try it out next time. I always forget that I have, you know, multiple webcams here, so I could always just use OBS to the multiple webcams to just cut my own hair in the back. Anyone got their HB85 keyboards yet? PCB or just the actual keyboards? Putting technology to work. Yes. It's like those reverse cameras, right? Yeah, and then the nice thing is, of course, then you can adjust whether you want it mirrored or not mirrored. Because I think if you try to cut your hair with just 2 mirrors... Hold on. Is this correct? Is that right? Hold on. Yeah, if you do 2 mirrors, it's kind of weird. But if you just use a webcam, you can just adjust. You can just, you know, mirror it or not mirror it, depending on how comfortable you are. Chroma key and Afro. That's one thing I need to check out. Chroma key, and then maybe I should get a green screen. Someone in Texas or in the keyboards thing did try to sell me a green screen, but he was trying to rip me off, so in the end I just said nah, I'm good. Cause I could get something better for the same price. That was kind of weird. He kind of insisted on it, and no thanks. At first I was like, sure, I'll think about it. And he told me the price. I'm like, why? I could just get this thing new. Why would I buy it from you? Oh god, more tattoo girl. What do you mean this is that time Manscaped? Oh, the back or... Dominic, I guess it is a meme now. Who knows? Tali is just obsessed. Oh, Alexia, I did see the white and black that they're selling for just 110. That's actually pretty insane. Not just the salsa. I would recommend at least the Hako FX880, but I understand that there are some really good ones made, you know, Aurea or some other ones. So I will say the one recommendation I do have for soldering stuff: get good solder, get good 6337 leaded solder, Rosen core. Poner, do you know if... Okay, so it's the same manufacturer, right? Did Zeal say that he will improve the anodizing? Do you know? See, at first... I hate to say this. I was really looking forward to getting the Xeno until I saw the Zephyrs. You know, I had 2 Zephyrs in my hands. Yeah, I was just really disappointed. I know that Zeal is actually working on replacements for the round 2 Zephyr. So... that's kind of what I'm waiting on to see if, you know, how good the factory will be. But I wasn't impressed at all with the 2 Zephyrs. I saw one from round 1, one from round 2. So it kind of killed my excitement a bit, unfortunately. No, this is salsa. Yes, CS66 sounds hollow for sure. But people are kind of weird about that though. You know, some switches and setups do sound better when it has a bit more of that echo and hollowness to it. It really depends. If you use something that is like, you know, a clicky switch, you don't want that though. So for example, box whites, like I don't really like this setup on the KB75 V2 because it has a thick acrylic sheet right under the PCB, and so it makes it sound like it has a plastic bottom. Plastic bottom sounds a bit more hollow. There's a bit more echo or reverb or whatever compared to just a metal setup, you know. And so I don't like how it affects the box whites because it makes everything sound muddier. Whereas if you put it in a nice filled up metal case, and you know, I put Sorbethane on it so everything's just really stiff sounding, and then man, then it sounds really sharp, very clean clicks. But yeah, but I would hate using, say, tactiles on that one setup. I would rather use it on something like a plastic bottom or acrylic case where it has that nice stockiness, that hollowness to it. So it really depends. I was just talking to, who was I talking to? I think Visionaire. I was talking to him about it today, about how a lot of people in the hobby, especially the ones who spend a lot on custom keyboards, they think that there's this one formula for everything. They think that there's this specific combination of switches or materials or whatever that will sound the absolute best, and then they can just swap different switches in. They can just, you know, or whatever. And really, it's not that simple. It's really not that simple. You just kind of have to, unfortunately, you just kind of have to experiment and figure out what sounds good. But people like to think that, oh, I'll use a brass plate, I'll use this, you know, and then an aluminum case with a brass weight as well, and then do blah 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 blah, and then they just think, oh, I'll just use this switch, I'll use that switch. No, that's why I like the way OTD did it. They at least tried to make keyboards based on what kind of switch they were, you know, they that would go on it. So for example, like it's called a 360C, so it was supposed to be for, again, I'm not saying they did a great job, you know, building specking out the case and designing the case for that specific switch, but they kind of at least were on that path. They knew, okay, if I want this kind of switch, how am I going to do it? If I want this kind of switch, I want to emphasize this specific feature or sound profile of this switch or feeling of this switch, I'm gonna do it this way. And at least they were kind of onto something. Whereas I think that right now a lot of people just kind of just want to use the same few materials, and you know, everything's just kind of, you know, brass plate, aluminum case with a brass weight. It's like, why? You know, it's gonna sound bad on some things, it's gonna sound good on some things. That's why I like when people have they offer different options and things like that. But yeah, so I just want to say it's not as simple as, I know some people are like, oh, hollow, bad. Like, not always. You know, for example, if you take the M60 and you compare it to the CS66, you know, and when I say M60, I mean M60 without the internal weight, they actually sound quite different. Even though they're both pretty much hollow, the plate setup's different, the shape is different, the space between the PCB and the base is different. And so, for example, CS66 hollow sounds so much better than the M60 without the internal weight. the M60 without the internal weight was one of the worst sounding boards I've ever typed on. Like, just without the internal weight, it just sounds so bad. With the internal weight, it just sounds kind of average. It's like, just, you know, it's all right, nothing incredible. CS66 has a lot of character to it. I thought I would hate it, but that hollowness really gives it a lot of character, right? Like most other boards don't sound like that. So yeah, so maybe if you put box whites or something like that, it will sound terrible. But you know, I would say a lot of linears would sound pretty nice on it, because you just like, you know, if a linear has a lot of spring sound or whatever as well, you put it on that thing, you don't even hear the spring sound anymore. You know why? All you hear is that thud and that thunk. You just hear that fucking echo underneath. And so yeah, so people need to understand and remember that it's really not as simple when you're trying to make something sound and feel good. There's just so many things. And yeah, it really depends on the switch and it's a keycap as well that you want to use. Some wooden boards sound nice, some wooden boards sound terrible. The canoe, you know, there's not a lot of space in the canoe. Maybe that's why it sounds bad, but the canoe also sounds really bad. You know, who knows why exactly it sounds that bad, but it just does. It just does. So not Jesse Salsa, what I would say is try it with the hollowness and then try Silverfane and other foams. Just experiment with it. That's the nice thing about the CS66, because it's how empty it is. You get to do some experimenting. You get to do it without anything. Put some clay in it or something. I don't know what you want to use. Or some cotton or foam or whatever you want to use. Yeah, you can just mess with it. Whereas yeah, there are boards out there where it's, you know, like, people think, why would this sound bad? You know, there's so much aluminum, there's no space, you know, it's not hollow at all anymore. Why does it sound bad? Maybe that's exactly why it sounds bad. There's no hollowness anymore, everything's too close. You just hear the metal, and then, you know, of course it's not perfectly tight, right? So you just hear just loud, just pinging sounds, like that metallic resonance. Oh. But it says I have a round one Zephyr and it's perfect compared to, because here's the thing. I get that people have different priorities, but a lot of people told me, you know, the one would say, you know, TGR analyzing is great, Zephyr analyzing is great. We showed on stream, it's really not. That's why the keycap thing kind of pissed me off. When I look back on it, because it's the same analyzing problems that people kind of just ignore on some other boards, but then for the keycap, people just, and a lot of them really weren't worse than a lot of, you know, expensive custom keyboards that people never complain about when it comes to analyzing. But yeah, so like the mirror, for example, as well, some people say, you know, very great and everything. And I know when Zio talked to me, it that analyzing definitely feels nice. I said, if you're completely blind, and this is not a dig of anyone, like, as in, you literally just, if you just close your eyes, you feel it, it actually feels fine. It feels great even. You know, you don't feel any weird textures here and there. But when you just look at it though, there's just so much that I really, you know. And when I was talking to someone else about it, you know, in the stream I said 6, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, I'd say it's closer to 7. And then when I think back about it, maybe it was closer to 5 than 7. Yeah, so that's just kind of what I know. I know you obviously you guys will try your best, but I was just kind of wondering, you know, how Zio is gonna approach the factory this time. You know, considering that he's doing replacements for the round 2, so that's kind of what I was asking about. You know, will the factory be more stringent this time with the quality control? Who knows? Because it wasn't even just analyzing problems. You know, we had the chip marks and stuff on the left edge. Tyler says no magic formula. Enough effort, small changes, many keyboards can be made to feel and sound acceptable. Yeah, that's just a lot I play. Like, you know, even pre-built boards. Some pre-built boards actually don't sound bad. Some sound terrible. So, you know, it just really depends. Like, I think the MF87, for example, is one metal case that, you know, I would say there's not a whole ton of free space, but it just didn't sound right for some reason. You know, there's just a lot of that metallic resonance. You see the loud ping sounds when you're typing. So yeah, it just really depends. So I said the CS66, people are like, oh, you should try to, you know, fill out the bottom. Like, no, just like, you know, it gives it that character. I know it feels lightweight and everything, but hey, you know what? Other custom board sounds like that. Yeah, you can always fill it up. Yeah, people kept telling me it was gonna sound bad, and when I actually typed on it, no, it doesn't sound terrible. Like, you know, it's actually kind of endearing. I kind of like it. It has a charm. It has a certain charm to it. The CS66 that we built. That one belongs to Red Hawk, who is, you know, the all-time #1 cheer. He's not here today, actually. Wonder what he's up to. Probably at a strip club. Probably. What it says fair, in my opinion. Smooth, no streak spots. Yeah, so it looks better than the one I unboxed. Would you say? Did you see that one? I don't know if Zeal saw it, and I feel, you know, I know, yeah, I think during the stream itself, I was talking to Panawater, who's the owner of that Zephyr. During the stream itself, he was talking about how Zeal was actually thinking about was gonna do replacements and stuff, and then we were just gonna go ahead and build that Zephyr, I think, and I'm gonna ship it with the you know, the analyzing problems and all that, and then Panawater is gonna deal with Zeal about replacements and things like that. Slapping fat Puerto Rican. See, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that he's probably gonna bring his, you know, probably at a strip club, his Dominican friend. Good old friend. I trust you'll be pushing his manufacturer. Yeah, so that's why I really want to see. I wish the ones that shipped out, it would have been great, because then, you know, I was just like, yeah, sure, take my money. I'm gonna build this. I'm gonna get the Zephyr, Xeno. But now it's like, do I really want it? Because I can't deal with that shit. I cannot. I know some people don't care about the anodizing and things like that. I really do, though. It'll just bother me. That's why I haven't built, you know, even boards that I was looking forward to, because I just cannot deal with bad finishes on keyboards. Yeah, so I hope things will be good. But like I said, it's great to know that Zeal is working on getting replacements, because that shows how committed he is. So yeah. But of course, Potent, I am thinking about just getting black anyway. It's one of the reasons why I was just gonna get black. I was like, you know what, this is safe. It's quite difficult to fuck up black. The bezels aren't gonna be too tight, right? Because I'm thinking any boards right now that I'm gonna buy, I don't want the bezels to be too tight, so that if the anodizing is bad, I can just take it to go get Cerakoted black or something. Alright, just get a coating over it. Just cover everything. Just basically give it like a you know, just put makeup on it. Whereas, you know, you have boards where you can't do that. Like the Pearl, for example, you cannot Cerakote that thing because there's no way you're gonna be able to put keycaps on it anymore. The spacebar can't even work, barely works. Same thing with other things. So it was the Pearl, and then one of the boards had really tight spaces. I'm trying to think, but yeah, so you can't really coat it. Something like Tokyo 60, hey, you could probably put like plaster of Paris all over it, and then put 7 coats of lacquer, and then 5 coats of weatherproof gloss paint, and then still spray some clear coat on it, and it'll still be fine. Whereas something like the Pearl and some other boards with gaps that are too tight, yeah, you cannot do anything, because even the TX95, because of the way the parts fit together, the top and the bottoms, I couldn't Cerakote both the parts because then the top wouldn't fit into the bottom. Yeah, so if the gaps aren't too bad, then maybe, hey, I'll still do it, so that if I need to coat it, I'll just do that instead. Because yeah, I really need a black board, especially now I have GMK white on black. I just need a black board to put it on. I don't have a black board. That's the stupidest part. I don't have a black keyboard. Can you believe it? I don't have a custom black keyboard. For the longest time, I wanted to avoid it because, like, you know what? A black board just looks like plastic. I don't really care for that. And I was like, but I have a white desk now. I used to have a black desk, and I used to when I didn't have a black desk, I had a desk mat, black desk mat over the desk. So I didn't like black keyboards because they just kind of disappeared into the desk mat. But now that I have a white desk and I don't use a desk mat, I'm just like, I want a white keyboard, a black keyboard. I don't want a white keyboard anymore. Here's the thing, I really want a white keyboard. Now it's like, you know what? I don't want a white keyboard because I have a white desk now. So you know what would be a good way to fix that problem though? Replaceable tops. Not just any kind of replaceable. Magnets. So like the Kira from Input Club. Am I right? Amazing technology. You can't even lift up the keyboard because the fucking case is gonna just fall off. Magnets. Hey, Devin Dick, thank you so much for being here. Have a good night. But yeah, Russ, yeah, we were just saying just now, you missed it, but we gave you a big shout out and we sang your praises, telling everyone about how you were kind enough to just basically give these switches to VPR. And yeah, these already sound a few way better than the previous batch. Yeah, so we sorted everything now to plug it in to test it. But yeah, Pona, I was just double checking that, so I know, and I get that with in the context of some things that were discussed today. I get why skills are in inverted comma. But I don't want to get into that though. Zeal's the kind of person. Yeah, and the thing I do like about Zeal is that he is, for lack of a better term, he is pretty thick-skinned. It's in a good way, not in a bad way. I'm not calling him fat because I'm basically a tinier Zeal. How tall is Zeal anyway? He's probably like I want to say 5'10", maybe. But anyway, so what I was trying to say was that what was I trying to say? Oh yeah, he doesn't take criticism personally. At least from when I've spoken to him, he seems to be pretty detached and pretty objective with a lot of things. He's just kind of there's a nice divide. Like he won't get offended if you don't like his product or whatever. He knows how to deal with all that stuff, which is to just not tied to your identity and things like that. Yeah, so I really like that about him, and so I'm not too concerned about that. I think that because yeah, I know some vendors and some group buy runners who do get very personal about things like that and get very offended if you don't like their product. But I know Zeal's not like that. Or at least he won't tell you, you know, so that's good. But yeah, I that's why when someone was complaining about Zeal in the Zephyr unboxing, I was like, okay, you know. I mean, I've had great exchanges with him the few times I've spoken to him. Zeal's highly dependent on how many boxes of switches he's standing on at a time, or stacks of cash. And yeah, Pono, yeah, I know that he wants to put out good products. That's why, you know, in my prior conversations with Gawk, you know, Gawk also has a lot of respect for Zeal. He says that, you know, Zeal, during the whole Holy Panda thing, people are fighting to make Panda switches. He's just like, you know what? I'm gonna make my own switch. I'm gonna see what people like about this switch setup. I'm gonna do my own. I'm gonna work on improving my own stuff. Instead of, you know, like, oh, I'm just gonna make this clone so that you can buy this to take the housings to. No, like he's just like, you know what? I'm gonna try to provide a solution to the end customer. And yeah, that's kind of the nice thing about buying stuff from Zeal is at least, you know, even though I don't really like a lot of some of the prices of his new switches, for example, I can't just buy it to have fun, you know. Like if I buy the switch, I'm like, I need to use it put it on something I'm gonna use, and I can't just like, fuck it, I'll just buy everything and I'll just build boards with all of them. Champlain, how's it going? But what I was trying to say was that, but yeah, he, for example, his stabilizers, he didn't need to make his own stabilizers, and you know, but it fixes some things with Cherry. I don't prefer it to Cherry stabilizers once they're modded, but if you just can't mod anything, you just don't have the tools or the time. I don't know why those stabilizers are really easy to mod for the most part. If you're gonna build a keyboard, you should be able to just do the stabilizers. But yeah, if you can't, Zeal stabs is just like, you know, the best stock option. Again, you know, same thing with the switches. Might not be the best sounding, smoothest sounding, but stock, you know, completely stock, bone stock. It's really hard to argue against some of the things he puts out. Okay, so right now we're just gonna test the switches. You people use affiliate link. No one is telling me how tall Zeal is. God damn it. Tell me more about Henry. Anyway. Let's make sure everything's working, because I really don't want to desolder anything. Speaking of, I should turn off my desoldering gun. One nice thing, I did mention this during the unboxing, is that at least all the pins work. You know, it's programmed already. It's ready to go. Oh, right. See, I freaked out because I thought we were missing something. Oh no. Is there key chatter? Hold on. Does it mean I have to replace the switch? Let's try it. It could have just been. Yeah, so I freaked out because the question mark key wasn't lighting up. I thought something was wrong. And of course, it's because, well, this layout has a question mark on this on the far right side. Wonder if he's going to make a not super tactile VPR. That's what I was saying. I said I wish he would make a 1.5 or something. You know, where you would keep the tactility of the V1, like V1.5, yeah, but then have the improvements from the V2. It would be nice, or just something like that. Or, you know, just dial back the tactility a little bit from the V2. You know, that would be great. I'm not too worried about springs. It would be nice if you could replace the springs, but you know what? It's not like you can't fix that. You can always just buy replacement springs. Okay. Like, I wish you would fix it, but you know, it's not the biggest. For me, it's not the biggest problem. Just because usually I'm just gonna buy aftermarket springs anyway. Okay, so all the keys work. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. That's good. So we can put it in the case. I'm gonna turn off the soldering gear. Good time to mention. Do I have a command for the affiliate link? I mean, I can post it here, but I don't think I have it in. I'm gonna put it in chat, but I don't think I have a command for it. I should probably do something, right? Alright, so let's put it in the case. Do we want to use GMK Necro on this thing, or do we want to use PBT on it? I'm a brother. I would not trust any sort of pre-loop switch. I definitely would not. You should have it as one of your banners on your Twitch page. Not Necro Kid. Let's put it in a case, and then you guys can fight about it. How's that? Okay, hold on. Let me check something real quick. Okay. Yes, that's fine. That's fine. All right. So let's put the board together. And he says also for dinner tonight. I still haven't really had dinner. I ate some cereal and that's it. I don't want to have time to get anything. It's already midnight. So maybe I'll make some instant noodles. I don't know. Something. We'll find something. Where did I put the case? Let's start with the top, because this is a top mount board. So we can just go ahead and screw this in. Oh, will it fit though? No. Okay, there we go. That's right, I filed it. So it's really tight, but at least it fits. CRP APL. Yeah, I have them all boxed up. I'm gonna bring it by UPS tomorrow. All the fucking CRP. That personally to me was the biggest disappointment, I would say, of last year in the keyboard hobby. I wouldn't call Necro a disappointment just because we kind of knew what to expect with Jessica. Still sucks, but you know, it's more funny than sad. CRP was one of those things where I was just like, it could be good. It could be good. I trust you, Hammer. It could be good. And then part of it was like, you know, it got worse. The more time I spent of it, the worse it got, because the more things I noticed was wrong. At first, it was like, oh, it was missing stuff, and okay, you know, replacements, and then crooked keys, horribly crooked keys. Oh, we can do that. And then you realize almost every key is crooked, kind of. Some are just way more crooked than others. Oh, well. And then you're like, okay, at least it has the die sub legends going for it. And then you realize, wait a minute, the legends themselves are not all great. You know, like the A, remember that A was fucked? Like, oh. Well, at least there's consistency in just the printing itself. And you realize, oh, that's not a thing either. Like, you know, letters would have one side thicker than the other. And it's like, oh. And so, yeah, so basically the more time I spent with it, it's the worse it just got. And then I noticed the spacebar is significantly darker. As in, definitely noticeable. It's a different shade of beige from the keys, the rest of the keys. So it's progressively just got worse and worse. And it's, you know what? I can't keep this for sure. At first I was like, maybe I'll do the replacement thing, and then yeah, as I use them, like, you know what? Never mind. I just hold on to my Imsto stuff and just use that, and wait for Gawk and JPBT. Also, Tally, thank you so much for the gift sub to Russ. Thank you. I really appreciate it. 26 now. 26. I wonder what Red Hog is eating. Some tits, hopefully. Man tits. Okay, so I believe it uses the hex screws for... Where are my hex screws? What? Where did they go? Oh, put them in the wrong drawer. So yeah, so the first big question is, do you think you want PBT on this thing? Do you want ABS on this thing? And then we can decide on which set. Also, Treflip, by the way, hello, how's it going? You changed the acronym CRP. I like to think that they intentionally picked CRP for, you know, as a joke. I hate that you know, that's probably not true in this particular. Maybe it's not true in this particular case, but it happens really often. Especially, it just kind of gets annoying as a foreigner because people will, you know, we're not all terribly, you know, completely void of humor and just no knowledge of English and the written language at all and puns. Because yeah, I will, you know, we will see stuff that, you know, was made, say, like in Malaysia or China, something where, you know, people are just having fun, poking fun, and just writing, they name things funny and things like that, you know. And then people think we unironically chose those names, that, you know, we just didn't know what it meant in English, and it's like, no, that's exactly why we picked it. We get the joke, we get the pun, that's exactly why we picked that. Yeah, so I like to think that Hammer knew exactly what he was going for when he swapped the name over to CRP, but I don't know. Yeah, Pona, that's why I said when someone asked me what, you know, the TLDW of CRP, I told them it lives up to the name, not the hype. Because it's crap. The first batch, dog, definitely crap. Maybe you can wait on the future rounds. The first one, just not even great at $90, honestly. But it happens pretty often though, Russ. So, you know, even in Abilene, you know, of course this is a terrible example, right? Or the perfect example. I would make jokes, so, you know, me and my friends, we would make some jokes. We know exactly what we're saying, but people don't laugh because they think we're being serious, right? Or, you know, they just think, oh God, what is, oh.
When worlds collide,
look at that.
You can run,
but you can hide.
When worlds collide, you'll laugh so hard, you'll swear you died. When worlds collide, hold my hand, I'll be your guide. When worlds collide.
Thank you so much, MLG Pro Lawyer. So for those of you who don't know, MLG Pro Lawyer, we rated him a few months ago when he was doing Lego builds. And if you like that, then you should definitely check out his channel. Oops, hold on. Oh no, why do I have things in China? Over here, like I said, he does mostly Lego streams. Sometimes he does some Overwatch and some other games. I don't think I've seen him do anything law related, even though he's called MLG Pro Lawyer. I don't even think I've seen MLG. But anyway, speaking of Lego and Overwatch, she did get Lego Overwatch sets in. Did you finally? You got them in, right? I haven't gotten mine yet. It's not even shipped. I'm so pissed off. It was supposed to ship out 1st of January, and then now the estimated arrival is 18th. So yeah, I still don't have it. And you know, I saw sets at Target and stuff like that, but my Target.com order, my online order from pre-order from Target, still hasn't shipped, even though a lot of Targets have them in stock already. So for those of you who are rating, thank you so much for joining us. We are a channel mostly dedicated to custom mechanical keyboards. Sounds weird, I know, but Lego unites us all. And you know, I've done, I think, 3 or 4 Lego build streams. I do have some more to do. I have the Saturn V, the Brick Bank modular, the the architecture US Capitol building as well. So those, I'm trying to find time to do them. But if you are interested in keyboards, you just have literally nothing better to watch on Twitch, always welcome to join us. Stream every Monday and Friday. Fridays we do full builds. We build custom mechanical keyboards. Mondays usually we do unboxings and other things like that. And then when I do have the time, maybe I'll do some Lego and some games or something. I heard V2 is going to be called SHT. Oh yes, Voltron. 2 of the 5 cats so far for the Voltron set. Did you get 2 of those, by the way? Or just 1, MLG Pro Lawyer? I know a lot of people really want to get 2, so they can have all the 5 cats and then that one big combo. Oh, we forgot the diffuse. Wait, yeah, the diffuse is not here. Hold on. Which one is the one that works? I think the one we didn't peel off. There we go. We're gonna keep the protective film on there because apparently it might actually be the frosting. It's kind of tricky though. Alright. And now we believe we are using these screws. VPS said, we're going to talk to the customer service desk at Target, see if they could do something about that if they were on the shelf. Yeah, maybe. The thing is, the one Target that I went to, they sold out at the Bastion. So the annoying thing is, we pre-ordered, right? They put them on the shelf instead of, and I get that, it's different stocks and everything, but it's still kind of annoying that they would send them out to the physical stores and then not ship out the online pre-orders. Yeah, so maybe I'll go again. But the thing is, right now it's just kind of pointless for me to go to Target again to look because it's supposed to arrive in a week, so it's kind of pointless to go in and hey, I need to get it now. Oh no, why is this screw not going in? Oh, no, it's going in. I mean, this is how quickly the Lego shine. That's the secret. They already shine. Getting sued for public masturbation. Okay, so I think the problem right now is that the diffuser. Why does it have to be so annoying? Also, one thing I don't like is the way the diffuser works, for sure. It's kind of annoying to position. You know, I'm just trying to screw. Why are you going for all these difficult positions? Soft mount coating though, yeah, that's why I'm trying to be really careful. That's why, you know, I keep putting the aluminum side down. Clayton, thanks for the follow. Yeah, so I haven't said hi to everyone yet. So again, MLG Pro Lawyer, of course, and then Lihan, Huin or H-Win or HW1N, and who else is new here? We see Alternate J, so not J, but Alternate J. Howin. Trying to be very careful with the screwing because the holes for this thing quite delicate because of the really soft mount coating. Just what micro arc oxidization, something like that. So yeah, apparently it's got a hardness of 2, which is really bad. It's 1 to 7, is it? 1 to 7? So, yeah, so if you just breathe on it, your germs might scratch it. So gotta be very careful. Sure, it still works. All right, it is lit. The lights up. Okay. Let's put these things aside. Keycaps. So, PVT or ABS? What are we gonna do? This gray is a little greenish for sure. It looks greenish on camera. It is greenish in person. It's not green though. It's not supposed to be green. It does look very greenish. Not as greenish as the keycap. That one was super green. I actually have palm keycaps. I don't know if it'll fit this layout, but actually maybe it will. GMK Necro. See if GMK will match. Necro will match. We can bring out GMK Necro. It's right here. But I haven't brought it in one Necro anymore. He's like, no, don't. We've had enough. This is why we shouldn't have done it last week, right? This is why you wait for good things. So these are going to be the GMK Necro colors. Actually, you know what? The green could end up helping it out, right? The greenish hue of the case. GMK White and Black. I haven't opened GMK White and Black yet. If we're going to do black, then I'd rather do PBT black on black, I think. Blind yourself first with the Allen wrenches. Oh. I'll have to use the smallest one though, right? This one won't fit. Don't forget to calibrate your eyes. Oh, Hamburger, no, this is a this is a Dota shirt. It's supposed to be a Dota hero. It's Ursa, which is a bear. I don't know why he's playing a ukulele. I don't know what the reference is supposed to be, but that's what he's doing. He's supposed to be a ferocious warrior, but this is definitely not very ferocious at all. But yeah, I really like this shirt though. The print is pretty cool. So PBT or Necro. We could still do Lego Yellow. Since we got Lego people here, we could always do the Circa mods. But yeah, they won't match though. But this is Lego Yellow. It's so when they were making these keycaps in Germany, the designer actually sent them yellow Lego parts, pieces, to match the colors. And it's the same kind of plastic that Lego uses. So check that out. Look at that. That's insane. Don't forget to turn on the lights to get the white paper plate. I actually don't have paper plates. I should invest in some. But yeah, so do we do this then with the yellow, or do we do Necro, or do we do PBT? I have black on white, black on off black. Circa accents with monochrome. I don't have monochrome though. Gem kit sets, I have Yuri, Hyperfuse Origins, Carbon that's still sealed, Oblivion, Dolch. Yeah, that's what this is though. This is Oblivion with Circa mods. So if we do yellow, could use it to match the Gateron yellows, so you let people know, oh, I picked yellow because the switches are Gateron yellows. And of course, because we've got people from the Lego community here, so Lego yellow, it's classic. PBT, what would PBT sound like? As opposed to ABS. I think PBT sounds really nice. Is this my warped spacebar? Do I have another one? Think the last after they saw Necro, I would leave too. I would leave 7, you damn it. Yeah. See, PBT just has that nice lower, cleaner sound. You know what? Fuck it. We'll go with PBT. We'll go for the sound here. Hey, we could always do black on white if we don't want black on black. It's always an option. Yeah, no, seriously, I could always just do this. So. We could just use white. This will help us calibrate our eyes for Necro. I just hit the wrong thing. Yep, because the board is plugged in, so I accidentally hit something I shouldn't have. Calibration screen. So, black or white? Which one do you guys like more? White? Okay. Let's do that then. Alright. For sure. You know what I just realized? Are these keys gonna be straight enough though? Hold on. The bigger keys. And of course we don't have an escape key. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, you know what we could do? You know what we could do? Where is Devness? And the key looks a little off though, and the key is warped. That's a big problem with the black and white set. A lot of the keys are warped. Maybe I'll humor Devness for a day. Maybe. I don't know. I might just switch back. Set has me hyped for Kuroshiro. Yes. That has me hyped and has me kind of... Like, you know, because I know I want to get Kuroshiro, but so what am I gonna do with this? I guess I can always give it away to my sibling or something. Oh, Titty, how's it going? Is it gonna be straight enough? The Texan question. Oh, of course, we're gonna go there. Another thing we could do, of course, is could always do black on black mixed with black on white. Could always just do, say, like arrows in black. Yes, I have Switch Hitter open right now. I know, right? It happens quite often, actually, that I forget to have another program open, and I'll just press keys and then just keys. That's what happened to the camera just now. Yes, titanium plate. So we'll find out whether, you know, how it affects sound, if it even affects sound, but again, you know, it's not a whole lot I can tell because I don't have a control. Because I'm using an HHKB, no. I don't have a board that's exactly the same, but with an aluminum plate, but it is very stiff. The titanium is. Oh, TD, yeah. So, did you finally decide on what keycaps you're getting? I know you were deciding between some. Oh yes, the question mark that's on the wrong side, not the right side, the wrong side. Two keys here. So do I have? Hold on. Where is my bag of extras? Well, I've absolutely no idea where the bag of extras went. So that's fun. We could always just put this over here instead, actually. Let's do that. Man, how do people take out artisans? Do they still use normal keycap coolers? So we could put this here. Yeah, I don't have another 1U. I mean, I could try to look for it, but I have no idea where it is right now. The bag of extra keys. Oh, whoops, I just did the same thing. See, so we could mix some Honeywell in here as well if we want. So instead of the black arrows here, we could do... Well, then again, you probably don't want this though, right? It's not going to match anything. So black and white set, how's that? K-Fan's going to do a HP clone, yes. Yes, everybody is apparently. I don't know where my extra keys went. I'm gonna try to look for it. Well, found it. for good luck. Should get a desk mat for it as well, right? Is it too dark? Let's see. Is this too bright? I think that's fine, right? Dead Hand thing, how's it going? Green Savage as well. And Daredevil and Goyella back. How's it going? Thank you, Tally. Beatles says we're making. Yeah, just. That's why, man, that shit needs to just die already. Everyone trying to jump on the same train, the same bandwagon. That's way too dark. Okay. that was the board. Titanium plate, PBT, chair profile keycaps, lubed Gateron yellows. And Triflip, no, you have not missed the lights off demonstration. We're gonna show the lights in a bit. I'm gonna look at chat real quick. Best finger snap I've heard. So some people, so I personally don't like this layout, but from what I understand, most people who do use this layout actually map this to be a question mark instead of shift on the first layer. So basically, normally when they hit this key, it's gonna be the question mark. So it's gonna work like a normal layout, apparently. My thoughts on titanium plate, it's really stiff. I mean, that's kind of it. I mean, it feels just like a steel plate. I mean, you know, it's titanium, but I don't know. That's, you know, it's like a steel plate because it's just very stiff, and you know, that's kind of it. Like it's. The board doesn't sound bad though. So the switches I know are gonna, you know, sound pretty good already, but some keyboards will just make the switches sound bad, right? But this doesn't sound terrible. Doesn't sound bad. Sounds pretty nice actually. Devin says, I got a new job. What? Dude, that's awesome. We didn't even know you went for an interview. What? Oh? Good job on the job? But yeah, that is great though. Because I know you don't get a lot of days off. You know, you were working the day after Christmas. Interview on Tuesday. That's when I had the haircut. I mean, I've been busy the past week anyway. Mark here, how's it going? Found your IG and YouTube last week. Oh, so it's good to know that my Instagram and YouTube actually bring people, because I never update those things. I should, but I don't have the time to do it. But yeah, so this is the board we did today. Let's look at some angles of the board, and then let's check out the RGB as well. All right. So as you can see, man, it looks so green on camera, doesn't it? I swear to God, it's supposed to be gray. It does look greenish though. On certain angles, it does look quite greenish. But yes, it is a greenish gray. I really like the contrast at the bottom. Tally, thank you so much for the gift sub to Makio. Thank you so much. 27 gift subs. Check out the front RGB. We're gonna try to compare it with a KB75 V2 actually. And the back as well, because why not? So the RGB, if you look straight on, it doesn't look that great because it's not frosted on the outside. It's only frosted on the top and bottom. But let's turn out the lights. Okay, well actually, let's leave the lights on for now. Oh, do I have an Type-C cable? Damn it. I don't want to unplug that. Okay, well you get rewind, right? Okay, so this is COD67 and then oh right, I don't have the RGB on. It is way better diffused on the KB75 V2. Alright, compare this to this. And see here, you can see the individual LEDs, stuff like that. You can see where the lights are coming from. The colors don't blend as nicely. On this one, it's kind of ridiculous how nice it is. Look at that. I wonder if you can increase the brightness on this thing. I don't know what the controls are though. For the underglow. Let's see. Dim lighting. I mean, it's really not bad. The sides look nicer than the one on the KB75. The one on the KB75, it has the LEDs on in the middle side, so it doesn't look as nice on that board. But over here, look at that. It's not bad. Look at that. Pretty nice. The side actually looks better than the front and the back though. The front and the back are a bit sparse in terms of the LED distribution, but the side is... Look at that. Nice solid chunk of color. It's this one, you know, you got spaces where the colors aren't as bright. Now look at that. That looks pretty nice. I think is this one mini? What is it? Mini? Yep, that's a mini. Mini USB. But of course, one thing that is really nice about, okay, look at this thing. One thing that is very nice about the COD67, you don't have light bleed on the edges. So other than some parts where because the plate is universal, you can probably try to cover it up though. Right, so other than some of these spots, look at that. There's no bleed. That is, so you know, you can, like I said, you can cover these parts up because it's just a plate that's exposed. But look at that. So that is real nice. Really nice. The reason why I don't like light bleed is because it's not consistent. That's the problem. That's why I hate it. But this one, so if you just cover up some of these parts, look at that. There's nothing on the sides. That is super nice. So it's not distracting at all. So when you put it on, you don't even you can't even really tell that it's got RGB lights up, but on the side, on the bottom. So that's nice. Whereas I feel like I'm something like the Tina. Oh, whoops. Board's plugged in. But of course the RGB diffusion is better than the light diffusion. Look at that. Look at that. This is still one of the best. This diffuser right here. This is even better than the KB75, I believe. Oops. Yeah, it's not screwed in, that's why it's kind of weird right now. This is still one off, is not the best diffusers I've seen on any custom keyboard. It sucks because there's a lot of bleed though, I really hate that, but look at that. Other than the screw points, it is nice and even. Yeah, even better than on the KB75 V2. Dan says, I love my Tina. Well, hey, maybe with a new job you can ditch Tina and get yourself a little upgrade, you keyboard slut. Or a downgrade. Because sometimes we want that. You want something dirty. Yeah, no light bleed. I am super impressed. I am super impressed with that. So other than, yeah, so these parts you can just try to cover it up with tape or something, honestly. And that, like, look at that. That is insane. Nothing, absolutely nothing over here. That is so good to see. Looks too chunky for me now. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the chunkiness, but yeah, it's just some of the details I don't like. Like, I really don't like these things. I think that's a bit much. Or if you're gonna keep this, then get rid of some of this stuff, or this rear slope, maybe the front. Yeah. Deafness. Just got my time, TK. I'll have that CS. I forgot you're in the CA66 round 2. I forgot about that. Do you like your time TKL though? Used to hate the radiator back. See, people hated the radiator back on the Tina until Rama made, you know, start putting it on almost all his things, and people were like, those lines look nice. That's not bad. It's like, I thought you said it looked gimmicky on the Tina. Yeah. The Koyu is basically the M65 mashed with the Tina. Chokan is still here. Oh, I forgot to put the link to Chokan's YouTube channel. Please do that. So if you haven't subscribed to him already, you really should. He has the funnest content on YouTube when it comes to keyboard stuff. So you really should. Oh, RGB controls on layer 1. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, whoops. It says privacy errors. I'm not gonna. My defense, I didn't know about Rama. Yeah, so I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about that. I think I'm not talking about you in particular. I'm talking about a lot of other people who diss the Tina, because I have always quite liked the radiator look. Not my favorite thing, but I've always thought it's unique. It sets it apart from other 60% keyboards, so I don't mind it. You know, it's got that crazy look, and it's really not so. You don't really see it often anyway. Oh, Mexican food. Dude, I need some food. I haven't had dinner. I mean, I had some cereal a bit before the stream, but not really a lot. But Deafness, again, congratulations on a new job. It's really nice. Screenshot of it, okay. Just trying to convince myself I'm not a trend following. Don't worry, yeah. Okay, so RGB, color. Okay, I think I see it. So, what key is that? G and H, I guess. And which one is function again? Okay, let's try this function around. Okay, so G and H. Okay, I think I just dimmed it, right? Yes. We're gonna push it to 11. This is the brightest it can go. Oh, I think we were already on the brightest, honestly. Yeah, I think we were already on the brightest. So. But the side, again, the side ones look really nice. And then yeah, you can change the mode on it. You could do that. Bad news, Caps. Thank you so much. Thank you. 6 months in a row. Thank you for the resub. It's a lifestyle. Chucker says, I had 3 humans worth of Indian takeaway last night. That's not for breakfast too. I haven't had Indian food in a long time. Maybe that's what I should do this weekend. Maybe I should get some Indian food. Devin says, haven't built it yet. Waiting on Heine PCB to come in. I was going to decide if I want to build it or have you build it. Well, it depends on how much free time you have the job. And how much money. Get it? Depends on how much time you have. Haha, you have exactly 1 time. Okay, so also don't forget the okay, what we're doing, we show the keyboard off. Oh, RGB modes, that's right, that's what I was trying to do. Okay, let's see. Wow, I have no fucking clue what that means. Okay, so the key below, I assume it's this one. Maybe? What have I done? I just did something. Oh. Oh, I am changing the mode. It's kind of hard to see though. This is a static. Okay, we got to the static part, I think. And then brightness was G and H. So let's try to increase the brightness. Come on. I think that's the max. When she asks you to go deeper, but you're all out of dick. Okay, and then we're gonna change the color. So color is supposed to be A and S. We've got a blue. Green. Yellow. I think kind of a teal color would be good, right? Or do you want white? We could do white. Is that saturation increase or decrease? I can't tell. There we go. Now I got white. And usually for sort of a white, I guess. That's too bright. Oh yeah, you're gonna have to rely on this camera over here to see. This is the first time using Gateron. Yes, my first time using Gateron yellows. I don't mind the weight. I really don't mind the weight. I don't know. The thing is, I don't use the linears very much, so it's kind of pointless to ask me to compare it with other linears. Oh, I keep forgetting this is shift. I think you will like it though. You should try it. I think you will like it more than some other linear boards. You should. Okay, what you should do when you do come by to pick it up, you need to compare the switches I lubed and switches that other guy lubed, and you will be able to tell the difference. Cambodian girl milk bits. Oh, like a verb. Okay. Damn it, now I'm disappointed. I thought you were talking about her milk bits. Who is this person? Oh no. What? Is there a... Oh. Interesting. Well, we are not rating her on this channel. Not Zesty Salsa, do you do commission builds? I mean, that's basically what this whole channel is though. All the keyboards here are not my boards, they're commission builds. So even this one, yeah, literally all of them. It's my Scrabble keyboard. Oh man, I still need to check my Scrabble keycap set that I got from Master. I haven't had time to do it. I need to do it before. Maybe I'll do it this weekend. Two more viewers than the Milk Bits girl? Oh boy! That's because I probably have bigger Milk Bits. Oh, she took the lead, damn it. It's people from here, man. Okay, so if you have any other questions, please let me know. I really need to go. Need to make some food or something. I wish I could just go out and get some food, but everything's closed now. So let's run the credits. Where are you, credits? Roll credits. Okay. I think it should work. It's working. But yeah, thank you everyone so much for being here. Oh man, you guys keep talking about what you made and what you had for dinner. God damn it, I didn't have anything. I mean, I had cereal. A little bit of cereal. Yeah, I'll probably eat instant noodles. That's all I have. Thoughts on titanium plate before departing? Very similar to stainless steel, honestly. Yeah. It's not worth the price premium because yeah, I would still go with stainless steel aluminum. Hey everybody, thank you so much. 100 bits, thank you. Have a good weekend. Climbing in the ranks, sure. Hard work, oh yes. For sure. I still need to put up the... see, I don't have time to check my keycap stuff. I probably have to call my family as well tonight. Oh well. But thank you for the follows. Otakont and Clayton. And the resubs, God, Chewy, Bug Whisper, Dodhead, Russ, Makio, Bad News Caps, gift subs from Talisman Solutions. Thank you. Haircut looks sharp. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't too sure about the haircut when I got it, but you know what? Might as well try something new, right? So, oh well. Next will probably be the QXP or Cheapy. Ooh, very nice. PC Load Letter. Thank you so much for 100 bits. One day I will show you all my milk bits. One day. Well, yeah, thank you so much everyone for being here. I will see you all Monday. GMK Space Cadet is supposed to arrive tomorrow. If that arrives, we can do that for Monday. But yeah, thank you everyone and have a good night. I'm gonna look for someone to raid. Let's see. Set to build is doing Lego, so we're just gonna go there, I think. Let's do that. And to everyone else, have a good night, good weekend. Daredevil, Hammer Brother, PC Load Letter, VPR, Talisman Solutions, that hand thing.
Yeah.
Tally with the 500 bits. Thank you so much. Gotta end the night on a good note. Makio as well, Jetstream, Bug Whisper, Devness, Bad News Caps. Who else am I missing? Not Zesty Salsa. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. Okay, we're gonna initiate the raid right now. Oh my god, I hit this because I thought it was slash, but it's not. It's this key. Why? We are going there. If not, have a great weekend, everybody. I will see you all on the next stream.